This is the Sear Old Freeway Bridge in Montana, just outside of Alberton. Not really much else to say about it, so I'm gonna let the music do the work.
Let's see here. What is...
Hey everybody, it's Russ back with Droning About Northwest. This is the Sear Old Freeway Bridge in Montana, just outside of Alberton. Not really.
What's up, guys? How's everybody doing? This is completely unscheduled stream. I might even try to bring in a couple guest hosts and stuff, but I guess if not, I won't. But I finally got my whole setup all working correctly here, where I can bring people in. So I'm hoping at some point in time I can get a couple people in here. So if any of you guys in the chat have Skype or anything like that, and you guys want me to bring you in, I can bring you in on Skype, and we can try to make this work. But if not, yeah, no. If my daughter cuts my hair again at this point, yeah, it'd have to almost go bald. So no, and I don't think I need a haircut for a while, to be honest. Yeah, thanks, Quack. Absolutely. What's up, above you two? How you doing? Hey, Jagger. Thanks, guys, for coming in. Appreciate it. And then everybody, if you can, please don't forget to hit that like button if you can. I appreciate it. But yeah, so the wife is out shopping with her mom, and she took the kid with him. So I figured, hey, I have a couple hours to kill. I usually go play basketball around noon my time, so I'll probably be getting off of here in an hour and 10 minutes or so, and go head out and play some basketball. But we'll see how it goes. It's really cold outside here. I think it was -2 or something like that when I woke up, and I think it's warmed up to a whole 7 or 8 degrees. So, but oh, Mike, you're from Syracuse. You're another one of the New York guys. There's a bunch of you guys over in that area. Bunch of you guys. That's really cool. But anyways, so I couple. I think I had it maybe on my Thursday stream. I might have had it on my Thursday stream, but and it might sound weird when I bring it up, but I actually got a new mic. So it's a pretty cool mic, and it works a lot better than the mic that's just built into my computer system and stuff here. So I'm excited about that. I sound a lot clearer. I don't sound like I'm in a hallway. At least I hope for you guys. I don't sound like I'm in a hallway. Yeah, 22. Yeah, she did above you too. Yeah, the wife helped out a little bit, but she did most of it. It took her only like 30 minutes or so also. So, and with the tiny clippers that I have, that's a pretty good job. Because those clippers I have are really just more of a sideburn trimming clippers thing. So, but yeah, and probably not going to be able to fly today, even though it looks amazing outside. But we'll see how warm it gets up to. If it gets up into the 20s, I might go fly somewhere. I don't know. There's this really cool crane in town here that's building. They're building a like a 15-story building in downtown Coeur d'Alene. There's a nice, cool crane that's over there that I might go fly. I'm definitely going to fly at some point in time, but might be better when it's a little warmer outside. There's couple other places that I have been wanting to fly. This next weekend coming up, so not this weekend, obviously it's almost over, but next weekend I am going to be going up to the family cabin again, and there's always amazing places to take video up there and stuff as well. So I might do some of that stuff. And the river is like almost completely frozen over right now. It looks really cool. There's just a couple little spots where the water just kind of swells up and then goes back down underneath the ice. Oh, thanks, Jeff's wife. I guess I should just call you Christy, being that you're explaining your name. I keep calling you Jeff's wife, but I should just call you Christy. That's probably much easier for both you and I. So I'll try to get that in my head now instead of just calling you Jeff's wife. But oh yeah, high winds in the UK. Yeah, you guys have had some really bad weather there. Hey, thanks, Leonard from Korea. Yeah, oh yeah, I know. I know it's Christy, but I just, sometimes you get like what you say the first time you meet somebody just in your head and you can't get it out. So every time I see you or go on your channel or whatever, I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna go on Jeff's wife's channel. And it's like then you hear yourself say it out loud and it just sounds weird. No, daughter is not gonna cut my hair again. Does my thumbnail say that she's gonna cut my hair? Does my thumbnail say that my daughter's gonna cut my hair? I hope not. But if it does, let me know. I don't think I can change it while I'm midstream, so that might have to wait. But it does. I thought I changed it. Oops. Well, shoot. That's not cool. I thought I had changed it. Well, it's supposed to say random chat, but I don't know if I can change the thumbnail now or not. Let me see if I can do this. Maybe if I do it from my phone, I can do it that way rather than do it from the computer where it's got all my stuff up. Let's see if I can do this. Okay. Well, it says it updated, so maybe if maybe in a few seconds, if one of you guys wants to pop out and then try to rejoin in, see what it says, that would be helpful. Just yeah, I don't like showing that on there because you're right. There is not very much that can be cut. Not much that can be cut at all. All right, thumbnail says random chat now. Yes, that's what it's supposed to say. All right, now I'm not lying to the masses. Sorry about that, guys. Anybody who was coming in here who was hoping that my hair would be cut, All right, I got one piece of hair out for you guys. Surprisingly, that didn't hurt very much either. Nice. But hey, thanks. What's up, Beaver? How you doing, man? How is it going? Should bring my chat over here a little bit closer so I'm not looking completely away from both the mic and the camera when I'm looking at what you guys are saying and stuff. But anybody, by the way, in chat that has Skype, I was hoping to try to bring somebody in with me if you guys can. So anybody who has Skype, just let me know. If you want to come in, I will try to bring you into the studio here and try to get everything set. Because I'm really trying to get it set so I can bring people in on Thursday. And I thought I just had just a little bit of time to kind of come on and say hi and goof off and whatnot, but also bring somebody in if I can. Give the daughter a shave. Yeah, she definitely has enough hair to shave off. Her mother might try to kill me for doing that, figuratively, but I'm doing good, Def Vid. What's up? Huh, that's weird. Yeah, you should get Skype, RC, or Mark. Yeah, you should definitely get Skype. It's I should say Skype is both great and terrible. There's some parts about it that are just not fun, and then there's, I mean, it is useful. It's better than Hangouts in some ways too, because you can use it better with NDI stuff and stuff like what I'm broadcasting now on OBS. You can do a lot more stuff with Skype, but at the same time, it takes so much bandwidth away from you and stuff. Oh man, hey Mike, if you want to come in, dude, it doesn't matter. I'll bounce stuff off of you. You don't have to have anything special to talk about or anything. I'll bounce stuff off of you, and we'll just literally just sit here and chat about stuff. You can talk about anything really. If you have any drones, I mean, my channel is mainly about drones and stuff, but you know, I like goofing off. I like doing goofy stuff, pranks on the wife, and all that stuff as well. So, if you want, I can send you an email, or you can send me an email with your Skype information, and then I will try to bring you in the call. Here's a email you can send it to. Hold on, let me type it in here. So go ahead and send me an email there, and then I will try to bring you in. We'll see if I can make this work, because I am pretty new to OBS, so there's a lot of stuff that I don't know yet. I just got a client email. Somebody's wanting me to do another. It looks like another real estate job somewhere. I'm not going to open that right now, but I might open it when I get done. Get done on here, because I'll tell you what, today would be a great day to do some real estate photography. When the sun and everything is out. Maybe a little bit later in the afternoon, as long as it's not too cold, where you can get some good lighting and everything. Yeah. Thanks, RC Dre. Yeah, I don't know if everybody coming in, by the way, the thumbnail messed up. I thought I changed it. I'm just doing kind of a random chat. My daughter cut my hair last weekend, and so it's actually kind of grown out a little bit. But yeah, she buzzed it all off. I had about 2.5, 3 inches worth of hair, and then she. Oh yeah, but Clack, don't forget, man. It's like less than 10 degrees Fahrenheit out there right now. So it's pretty cold. That's why I don't know. Flying doesn't always work in the cold at least not for very long. My normal 19-minute to 18-minute battery time is usually 10 or 12 at this Thanks, man. Yeah, I actually don't mind it. I was worried about getting it cut this short and stuff, but I don't mind it. It is very cold when I'm outside though. Like I wear more hats now than I ever have. I'm not never been a big hat guy, but I have been wearing hats the last week. Oh yeah, Mark, rain in Alabama. You're probably at least warmer though. You got to be much. I'd rather have rain. I'd rather have rain than I know I can't fly in the rain, but I would much rather have rain than what we have right now. We have about 2 feet of snow on the level, and it's colder than hang. A little windy outside, so it makes it feel even colder. Right through your shirt. 47. Yeah, that's still cold for down there though. But yeah, that's a little warmer than it is here. See if I got Mike's email there. I did not get an email yet from you, Mike, but I'll just wait. If you get one, you get one. If not, not. That's fine. Um, like I said, I'm only gonna be on here for I don't know, maybe about another hour. I'll stay on until noon. I always go play basketball on Tuesdays and Sundays, and get called the old guy because I'm playing with a bunch of teenagers and young 20s guys. But yeah, and that's the thing. When you're flying or even like any kind of remote controller, those things get so darn cold when you're out in the cold, and it's like it just leaches the warmth out of your hands. What I would like to have is get some of those like um, smart screen gloves where you still can tap and whatever with your fingers on a screen. That would be nice because the way my camera or my drone works is, it's a Mavic Air, so it folds out and you use your basically your cell phone as your screen. So a lot of the stuff that you do, you're tapping on the screen. Most of the stuff is all you can do controls with, but you are tapping on the screens at times and stuff. So yeah, I do have height. I do have height, and there is some stuff that I have. That a lot of these guys are all 3-point shooters in basketball, and they just like to sit there and just launch threes and launch threes and launch threes. But when I body up against them down low and stuff, it's I can use that to my advantage. But yeah, I'm 6'3", so I can get up there a little bit. I used to be able to dunk when I was 18. I can grab the rim now, about as good as it gets at 35. Anyways, let's see here. I'm going to go and look at something really quick. See if I can see if anybody's on here who is. No, I don't see anybody. So, by the way, oh, you did send it, Mike. Awesome. Cool. Let me look here and see what I got here. Sorry, guys, everybody. This is kind of somewhat a little odd, me getting on my phone and stuff. But there we go. Got your info. Okay. All right. Let's see if I can find you here, Mike. I would imagine I can. All right. Got you typed in there. Hey, there you are. Let's see if I can bring you in here. What's up, Mike? Let's see. I don't have your picture yet. There we go. Gotcha. Okay. Now, let me see if I can make this OBS magic work here and get you in here. We are, I'm not 100% that I can do that, but okay. Oh, wow. Okay. I have to resize you. I did get you in there, but I have to resize you, and then I'll bring you on with the other, with the other, my other studio that I have set up here. Oh, I think I can hear a little bit of, oh, I found the wrong one. Oh, hold on here. Your window is big. Oh yeah, I can definitely hear you. Yeah, I you won't be able to see me because OBS is using my camera and stuff. So, come on now. I am not getting it to. Oh, hey, maybe I should unlock it if I want to try to move something around. Oh, it's like a program. You know, I never thought I would be able to either. I was like, oh gosh, I don't want to try to mess with that. Oh, I want to I just want to be able to. There we go. Okay, let's see here now, everybody. I think I don't know if you can see me on the stream at all, Mike, or anything.
Yep. I
Oh, let me
a
see if.
little bit. I mean, I
Okay.
give it a second. So, but yeah, there we go. They're split screen, sort of.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
cool.
Okay.
Awesome. Hey, it works. You know, you have
What?
no idea how much time I've spent in the last week trying to get this to work. And then I found out that I had like some plugins or something not actually downloaded or I don't know. Stuff I hardly understand, but I figured it out.
Right. Where in the Northwest are you?
Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
Um, familiar with Idaho, but don't know your town.
Yeah,
But
it's in the northern part of Idaho near Spokane, Washington.
okay.
So
Oh, you're way up there.
yeah, way up there, 70 miles or so from the Canadian border. So
Right.
let's see what this looks like on the stream here. Oh, now on the stream, you are not showing up correctly.
Right. That was earlier.
All right, hold on a second, guys. Gosh, this stuff, man, it's difficult. Uh, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you're trying to break out of it. Uh, it's interesting, very interesting. Oh gosh, yeah, it's so fun sometimes. All right, I think I got it now. Let's see what it looks like. But yeah, sorry everybody who's watching. You're watching me self-learn here. Well, figure it out. I was taught by I don't know if. Hey, there we go. You look a little better there now.
Okay. Cool.
But I was taught by Interactive DNA how to use this stuff, and the guy's an absolute wizard with OBS. He can do all kinds of stuff with OBS, but I'm just kind of beginning my apprenticeship. So,
Right.
so,
Yeah.
so Mike, where you're out of Syracuse, huh?
Yeah, Syracuse, New York, right in the middle of the state. And a lot of people, when they hear the word New York, they just think New York City and anything else.
Yeah.
And but you know, there's a whole big state up here, which is a lot like the Northwest. You know, with the Adirondack Mountains and we have hundreds of lakes and things like that, and all kinds of things. Niagara Falls to the west, and the St. Lawrence River to the north, and then Lake Ontario. So there's all kinds of beautiful area up here once you get north of New York City.
Nice. Yeah, yeah. You're actually, I don't know if you've, I know you go in Canadian Drone Hubs stream every now and then stuff. Paul, Lewis P. Floyd. He lives pretty close to you, doesn't he? He's like less than an hour away from Syracuse, I think.
Yeah,
So
I think I saw that he mentioned that, and then also Mark there, Centroid.
hmm
He lives just about 20 minutes from me.
Oh, really?
I know the high school is where he teaches.
Nice.
I've actually spoken at a class there many years ago. So
Very
um,
cool.
but yeah, I fly. I got the original Mavic when it first came out, and crashed a couple of those.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we all do that. It happens to everybody eventually. And I've got two of those, and then um, got the Mavic 2 Pro, as well as a Mavic Air, which
Nice.
it's I got into it in 2016, and for a guy I'm 57. I always wanted to fly something, but we never had the ability or the technology when I was a kid. And now you get these things that'll just float around. They're is so easy to fly, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They are. And I use the Mavic Air is mainly what I use.
Yeah.
But my little crash dummy drone is this little guy right here. He's literally like the one that I'll just fly around the house and run into walls, until the dog chases it down. I've gone through a few sets of props on it. It's only like 2 months old, and I think it's on its third set now. So
Right. You got to have something to fly indoors if you're going to be in a cold state.
oh yeah, absolutely. Yep.
So, but yeah, I fly the Mavic Air around a little bit indoors, just to at least cycle my batteries and things like that, and
Right.
and then just to have a little fun with it. But hopefully in a month here I'll be getting outside. I use a wheelchair from spinal cord injury and stuff, so
Okay.
getting around in terms of the wintertime is a little tougher than the average person. But the beauty of drones is it gets me to spots that I could never ever get to.
Yeah, yeah, because you just got to get yourself set up, and then you can
Right.
fly to wherever you want to go. That's really cool. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
imagine a wheelchair will not go through snow very well.
No, and but I get on pretty well, but it's more the cold than the snow actually. But it's just a way of if you see something on the side of a mountain or rock face or something, you wish you were there with the camera.
Yep.
Now I can get up there vicariously through the drone, and
Absolutely.
it's terrific.
Yep. Yep. Hey, what's up, Hugh? How are you doing? And then Ricky, you said your stream keeps coming through with a quality of 480p. Is that like the only one available? That's weird. I should be streaming in 1080p, I think, but not sure. That's good to know. Let me know. Yeah, I like the DJI drones. They're fun. But this, like I said, this little guy, this SEMA thing is absolutely built like a tank. I don't know how many times I've crashed it into. I mean, I made a video and I crashed it on purpose. My last video was me talking about drone insurance. So I was like, well, I'm
Right.
gonna, I did a little skit in the beginning where I crashed this drone into, and I could probably bring that up and show everybody that, but I crashed the drone into just the garage door or whatever, and then had my brother sit there with big old aviator glasses. He's like, "All right, I'm gonna have to get your insurance right now," and then I'm like, then I just bolt, and he chases me. He's like, "Stop resisting!" But and then I come on and start talking about drone insurance and where to get it, how to get it, and all that stuff. And there's a lot of differences, and there's a lot of different stuff in different states. A couple guys were saying, they didn't have to have it in person, and then there was one guy who said he did it over the phone, but he was able to send them pictures for. But pretty much what I've come to the conclusion is you have to have your drone with you, wherever you are, whether you're signing up online or in the office or something, you want to have your drone with you because they need the serial number and all that stuff. And I'm surprised. One thing I'm surprised with is they don't make you like prove that it works. You know, it's weird. They don't make you prove that it works, and you're buying insurance to possibly replace it. Hopefully,
Right.
nobody. I mean, I guess it would be fraud or whatever if you were to do that purposely after it was broken. But people will abuse it if it's a possibility at some point in time.
Right, that's for sure. I had the DJI Care Refresh on the first Mavic I bought, and of course it came in handy
Yeah,
because I hit tap fly, and oh, isn't that amazing? Until I realized there was trees straight ahead, and that bit the dust. But they replaced it after jumping through hoops with customer care at DJI. It was horrible back then. I hear it's gotten better, but
yeah.
talking to people, I don't know where they get them from, but the same phone call over and over again. But eventually they did send the drone, and they never fix them. They just send you another drone.
Yeah, and it's probably one that they fixed before or something like that. Or if it's a new model, like let's say, like when you got your Mavic Pro and it was like a brand new model, and it's only been out for a month, I would imagine if you were replacing that through DJI Care, there's not too many drones that they have on hand that are already refurbished drones that they can send you. They're probably just sending you a new one.
Right, right. You wouldn't think so, but it's funny how when people get a drone fixed by them, and it comes back, and they notice there's a different serial number and
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff, and usually the stickers are on again,
Yeah.
like it's a brand new drone.
Yep.
You never know whether it's refurbished or brand new, but the one they sent worked just fine.
Perfect.
Um,
Now, I was
I
going to ask you, when you sent yours in after you crashed it, you only sent the drone in, right?
right, without the controller, and I think without the battery.
Okay, and yeah, because they probably don't want you shipping batteries. LiPo batteries.
Right.
I mean, there's all kinds of regulations on shipping those things. But so when they gave you your other one back, obviously you probably had to pair it and everything to your controller and do all the
Yeah,
updates and all that stuff again, right?
right. Pair it with the controller and carry, the compass and IMU and all that stuff. The same thing you would do when you get a new drone. But they, as much as it was a hassle with the language problems, because I actually got emails from them sometimes in just apparently Chinese writing, and
Oh, really?
so it was frustrating, but it got done.
Yeah.
But it's like I kind of self-insure now. It's like if I lose a drone and it's my fault, I have to eat it.
Yep. Yep.
So I
Well,
have a Mavic Air at the bottom of a swamp right now.
What's funny is somebody will come around. I've seen a lot of videos of people saying that, oh, I found this drone when I was diving, or I found this drone when I was using sonar for on my boat, and people use the magnet fishing and all that stuff.
Right.
Somebody will end up finding it. It might be 30 years from now when it's all rusted apart, but
Yeah. My nephew wanted to go in there and get it, and I said, "You don't want to go in there. It was literally a swamp, and who knows what's in there. And the odds of finding it are not good either.
yeah.
Small the Mavic Air, but I love the Mavic Air. People always complain about the noise of it, but once you get that thing a couple hundred feet in the air, it's not that bad.
Well, I've never
Um,
been bothered by the noise of a drone. Honestly, I'd rather have people know that it's there. If I'm flying, in most cases, I'd rather have somebody know that it's there than think that I'm like trying to be sneaky or something like that or whatever.
right,
The only
right,
thing that I can see it being an issue is like for this summer, for example, I'm going to be most likely shooting a wedding for somebody, and if they're trying to walk down the aisle and it's like, like that might be a little.
right.
So what I told them is, hey, you know what, guys? You guys they already have a videographer. So I was like, you guys have a videographer for the close up of you walking down the aisle. My drone does not need to be that close to the people. I'm going to be doing big, large, far away shots and panoramics of where your setting is and all this other stuff and just some of that stuff more than you know I'm not going to be capturing them walking down the aisle and be able to have everybody look at how good the makeup job on the bride was done. That's not going to be my drone's job. And
Right.
they agree with that. They're like, yeah, no, that'd be fine. To have it a small buzz out in the background is fine, but to have that thing really close is going to be distracting for a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah. Last summer I was up at Lake Ontario, on the shore there doing some flying, and I was bringing my drone back, and all of a sudden I look up and there's another uh, Mavic Pro up in the sky that a wedding photographer had. He was shooting a wedding there at the park I was at. So I saw him and I just said, I'll come down and get out of your way. And
Yeah.
I don't want to crash into him, but also don't want to interrupt the wedding party.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
then by the time I was ready for another battery, they were gone.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I did a Palouse Falls video, and I'm one of those guys where it's like, you know what, it's not my problem. So they'll deal with it if it comes to it. But there's a lot of hoops to jump through to go film at a state park in Washington. In
Oh,
Idaho, there's only like 2 state parks in the whole state that they care whether you fly or don't fly a drone. There's certain
Really?
areas where they don't want you to fly, over the campgrounds and all that stuff. You're not allowed to fly over campgrounds or anything like that. But they don't care if you fly in a state park here in Idaho. But in Washington, send a submission form 90 days beforehand. You're required to have $1 million in liability insurance during the time that you're flying. Try to use that, Verifly. You get like the $8 or $9 insurance for
Wow.
the time frame. But I went through all those hoops and I did all that, and I was filming. And then here comes this wedding party, and like one of the groomsmen had a drone. He was just flying around the wedding party. I'm like, man, I guarantee they didn't go through the process, But like I said, I'm one of those guys where it's like, I did all my stuff, but you know what? If somebody comes and asks, I'm going to have my permission slip thing, and they don't. That's their problem, I guess. But
Right. Yeah, we have the same thing here in New York State. You're not allowed to control your drone from inside the park, but you can fly in the park.
Yeah.
And which the parks are so big, you're never going to be able to fly from outside the park.
Yeah.
Into it. And so it's their way of getting around the rules.
Yeah, and technically, national parks, if you are taking off from an area that is not part of the national park is not airspace. But let me tell you something. If you are flying over that national park, whether you can or can't, you're going to have some explaining to do, and you're gonna get hassled. So it's just not worth it. But technically, you can fly over the national parks if you're taking off from outside of it. But national parks, like what you're saying with the parks, they're so huge. All you're going to be able to do is be like, "Oh, cool! Look, there's the entrance." Gone.
Right.
It's not going to really be very much. So.
Yeah, it all depends. I think how much risk you're willing to take. I did one where there's a waterfalls. It's a very small state park, and it's never crowded. So I just went there on a weekday and did the video. There was maybe a dozen people at the whole state park. So I just thought, if someone tells me to get out of here and leave, I'll leave. But I took my chances, and there was no problem.
Nice.
And my channel's so small that nobody was going to see it to report it or anything like that anyway.
Yeah, I mean, the way I would say is they never punish the guy who landed his drone on the White House lawn either. So the amount of times that people get punished for things is so small. But I just don't want to be one of those first guys that's like, well, they decided to make a statement with me.
Yeah.
But, hey, by the way, Mark Centroid, let's see if we can try to break my my internet or my OBS. If you want to come in, I can bring you into the chat here, and we'll just cut out the beach video here below Mike and I, and we'll have a New York neighbor chat.
Yeah, hopefully, perhaps this summer he and I can hook up and actually fly together at least once.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I have. I don't have anybody still in my area. I have one guy who's down like 2.5 hours south of me in Lewiston. We've never been able to make our schedules work to be able to fly together. But I haven't met anybody in my area here who is a big flyer, other than like at that company that I interviewed a couple months ago. There's a bunch of guys who fly VTOL type drones and stuff there. But
Yeah.
I'm supposed to fly with them this summer, and they're going to actually let me fly one of their big old X craft. I mean, we're talking this thing is like bigger than my two forearms, going like that. Big old thing, and that thing has massive 13-mile range. It can go 70 miles an hour. It flies for an hour and 20 minutes when you get into fixed wing mode, and really cool.
Wow.
But
Yeah. I
not
don't know.
until this summer.
Flying drones too is kind of like, we're doing photography, and when I go out and with my SLR and I want to do stuff, I kind of like to go alone anyway. It's kind of a solitary, hobby,
Yeah. Yeah.
instead of having to deal with what someone else wants to do, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, but I'm with you. But it's just kind of nice to have the camaraderie, a little bit of flying
Right.
something, and then you can trade, footage or whatever. Honestly, I just want to be able to be like, all right, tag, you're it. Come try to get me, just chase each other around or whatever, and try to
Right.
catch each other's drones in the shot or whatever. That'd be kind of cool too. But
Right. It would be pretty cool if Mark and I could do like kind of like Billy Kyle and original Dobo, where like we fly together and then we each have a video of it.
yeah.
I'm flying with Mark and he'll say I'm flying with Mike.
Yep.
And that would be a lot of fun.
Yep, that would be. All right, let's see if Mark is on here. If I can add him to the channel. Or add him to
I
the
heard
call,
it
I
was
should say.
until 4 o'clock in the morning this morning.
Oh, he was evidently on this morning for sure.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to. Here we go. Finally, it came up. It is going a little bit slow here on my side, so I hope nothing crashes. But it's only Skype that is working slow for some reason. Everything else seems to be working okay. Although I did notice I didn't set my bitrate high enough for this stream, and I'm wondering if that's maybe why everybody's only able to see it in 480p. But let's see if we can get Mark in here. Anyways, what's up, Wiedemann? How you doing? And Gary Foster? Yeah, it's really cool. The one thing that I like about the whole conglomerate of all of us drone flyers is there's parts of New York that I have probably never will see in person, but with you guys doing your flights and like Philadelphia with Philly Drone Life and all that stuff, it's really cool seeing. Let's see here. Did Mark come in?
I see Mark.
Oh, I'm in.
You are.
Did you just call me?
I
got to fix my Skype because it automatically kicks on when people call me.
Oh.
You could have gotten the au natural, man.
Yeah, we don't want to see that.
No.
Yeah, please. Nobody wants to see that. I'll be right back.
It's funny.
Got me on a bad hair day.
Oh.
You know all about that, don't you, Russ?
Yeah, I do.
What's up, guys?
Not much. That's all right. Hey, I have to set up the studio here anyways. So let's see. I think I just made Mike here a very major part of the screen.
Right.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
I had that problem last night and checked to make sure that your NDI sources are all set to low and not different.
Yeah.
At least keep the same. I keep forgetting that myself.
And Mark, the visual I see is just a still photo right now.
Oh, it's open. My camera's on. Let me check my Skype. I might have my camera off, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
All right. No, my camera. Oh, no, my camera's there.
Yeah. Well, and I don't even have you on the actual stream yet, Mark. So I'm just getting you on there now. I'm adding you in here. I'm a little slower than.
Okay, I see. I am still for some reason. You know, let me check my audio video settings. That's interesting. I am frozen.
Oh,
I may have to no, that's not. It's probably not you. It's probably me. Let me just see here.
well, I have you set, I think, to where now everybody is going to see you when you do come on. Although, oh, hold on,
I'm hiding.
I have you in front of everything though.
Oh, you don't want that. Nobody wants that.
Let's see here. Center monitor. There's Mark in his spot. Now I got to bring Mike down back into his spot.
Looks like you're getting there.
Boom.
Oh, I get front and center. Woo!
Yeah. No, I fixed you now. Now you have to sit there and sit on. You have to be crouched underneath the desk, looking out from the bottom part of the desk there. I think, but
let me see if I can fix that. Okay, so I'm still, aren't I?
Yeah.
I actually don't see anything. I only see blue.
Yeah, that's interesting. Do me a favor. Give me a call. I'm gonna hang up. Give me a call back, okay?
All right, sounds good.
Well, this is why you do a test, right?
Yeah. Honestly, I'm just doing this. This was kind of just to kind of test to make sure, because I got it working last night, and I wanted to make sure that hold on here.
What the heck is going on here? I can still hear you. I haven't gone anywhere yet.
Oh, okay. I was just about to try to add you to the call again.
Yeah. Let me hang up here. It's not even letting me hang up. What is up? I can't get away from you.
Not until I say you can, youngin.
Yeah, I'm gonna close Skype completely.
There you go. Go ahead.
Okay. Now, Northwest, what is your first name again?
I'm Russ.
Russ. Okay.
Yep.
I've met so many people in the last couple of weeks on these live streams have gone crazy and lately, and you know, the names are hard to keep straight. So Russ.
Yep.
Okay. I've got you subscribed too.
Awesome.
Cool.
And
there
I think I got it. Yeah, I think I got it.
Sweet. Yep, I got you. And did it scale you back to normal on the stream? It looks like. I'm hoping.
I don't know. I haven't gotten to that part of the stream yet. The delay.
Oh,
there.
It's slowly bringing you up there. There we go.
Yeah. There he is.
There we go. Here, let me put this down a little. That's really bright.
Now, I'm wondering if everybody can hear you guys in the stream.
Testing.
I can see Mark just fine. I can hear you guys.
Okay. Can everybody else hear these two?
I heard. I just turned on the volume for a quick second. I heard it on the stream.
Did you? Okay, good.
So I think we're good.
Awesome.
Cool.
So to what do I owe this pleasure that I get pulled into your stream, sir?
I'm just trying to test limits because I finally actually got everything.
I had 4 people on at once, but I'm still working out the audio part of it. But I think I got that down. I hope.
Nice. We just something's bouncing around here.
Yeah, I was having a devil of a time this weekend with that. Last night I had 3 people on, and every so often, the size of their input would change, and I was constantly juggling that. And Steve and Ariel's had the same problem, so I don't know if that's a glitch in the new version of OBS or not.
It might be. Fantastic. I just get everything figured out, and well, it keeps correcting itself on you guys eventually. So I'm just gonna leave it as is. And
under properties, do you have us both set to the same, or at the best? If you want to get more people in, you have to have it on lowest quality or something like that.
Let's see.
Go to each one.
No, I have Mike on highest.
Yeah, put him on lowest, and that might help.
All right, now I'm gonna have to probably resize his screen though, and. Oh man.
Well, hello to everybody in chat. That's the only problem when we're messing around with this stuff and testing.
Oh,
I always
yeah.
feel bad that I'm ignoring the people who are actually watching.
Right. Now, Mark, is it true? Somebody said you were up at 4 o'clock this morning still.
That's not true. It was
No,
3:30. It was 3:30.
3:30.
Well, I had a stream last night. I started a stream kind of late-ish, probably around 10:30 or something. And I was, I brought like 3 people in. Artco Drone Solutions came in. Of course, Drone Worship pops in whenever I go live. And then I brought in Dad Random, and it was the weirdest stream I'd ever done. It was just the humor was weird. It was good, and then it went south a little bit in the sense that somebody goes, "You got a dislike." I'm like, okay, it's not a big deal. It actually was one of my friends. I think I had a couple of them before, but then it became a joke, and so I said we're going to change this up a little bit. And this is, I think, where we went downhill. I changed my scrolling banner um, to say, "Don't forget to smash the dislike button, and if you like what you see, please unsubscribe." And at that point, I actually logged into 2 of my other accounts and gave myself a couple of dislikes. I wanted to see how many dislikes I could get. I
How
was
many
like,
did you
heck,
get?
6.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
It didn't offset. I got like, I don't know, 20 something. It didn't offset it enough, but I'm like, we need some dislikes here. Let's just go for it. But then I got off. I'm like, that was the weirdest stream I'd ever done. I got a call from Steve from Aerial Views. He'd gotten back from work, and he joined this stream in chat. And when I stopped the stream, he says, "You want to call?" I said, "Sure." So we started talking. I was starting to fall asleep. And then he says, "Oh, too bad we didn't stream together tonight." I said, "We could do that." He goes, "You're joking, right?" And I said, "Hold on, let me set up OBS." And then we had like 4 or 5 people, and we were so giddy and laugh. And I had a blast, but I was barely awake. So yeah, I was a little worse for wear by the end of that time. So
Yeah, when I was on with you, I think Friday night, I got off and went to bed, and when I was in bed, I just popped it on real quick, and you guys were still going.
oh man, my average is about 3 hours when I do
Right,
that. And it's not my plan, but sometimes we just get to talk and have a lot of fun.
right.
So
Yeah, that seems to be the best ones, that when it's not a plan to have a terrific chat or whatever, like with old guy, he's just doing a test, and all of a sudden it's a 5 hour
oh
marathon.
yeah, they're the worst. You go on with the plan of going on for half an hour to an hour. Next thing you know, it's 3 hours later. It's like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Streaming always works that way. But usually, and see, this is where I might be in trouble today. Usually, I have the wife to be like, "You,
Yeah, time to
you
get off.
said you were going to be on for an hour, and it's been an hour and a half." I'm like, "Oh, okay." But she's not here to tell me to get off. But I really am wanting to go play basketball today. So I've got about 25, 30 minutes or so that I'm going to be on here, and then I'll kick off. But so you want to know what my problem was, Mark?
Well, yeah, I do. I'm glad you brought it up. I forgot all about
So
that.
my NDI plugins, instead of installing it, I just moved the still zipped folder where it was supposed to go. So I'm trying to run these NDI plugins with no NDI plugin software installed on my computer.
No wonder we had a problem. I never would have thought of that. How'd you figure it out?
I uninstalled everything and did it again. And
There
then
you go.
when I was uninstalling something, it was like, this folder is still a zipped file. Do you want to delete it? And I'm like, yeah, okay. And then when I was installing everything, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's what it was. Because now I'm having to unzip this to install it. That I just had a zip folder in there.
Dude, well, the stream looks great, man. It's looking good. And
Yep.
Jaeger, Scott, and Ricky Dove, good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. Oh well, I got a message in my email that I knew he was out there, but Roosevelt reached the goal for the GoFundMe page, which is cool.
Nice.
And there was I think it was Chris that sent a thank you through GoFundMe for helping reach his goal. So anybody out there who contributed, greatly appreciated. That's what I love about this community. We're all there to help, and everybody got him to where he needed to be.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I gave a couple of bucks on
Anything. any little bit helped, and it got him there. So I appreciate it. I'm sure that Roosevelt appreciated it. So yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, and people underappreciate the importance of an uncle in somebody's life.
Yeah.
I had an uncle, not like Roosevelt, but who was like a second dad, and there's Mother's Day, there's Father's Day, but there's no Uncle's Day. There's really and aunts and all that should be.
And sometimes if you grew up without a parent, it's the uncle or aunt that steps in too.
Yep.
So Ian says we're getting a bit of an echo. I've had that issue too, and I think I've dialed it in.
How about now, Ian? Well,
It's-
I should say it's going to be a few seconds before this plays, but I think what I've got is I've got the two NDI sources, and so when you're talking, Mark, it's still playing on his, and when you're talking, Mike, it's still playing on his. So I think I just cut out one of yours, and it's
if you mute one of them, you should be fine. But what I've done is I've put in under audio, you activate one of the inputs, and then you bring in an audio, an outputs, and you bring that in. And so what you do is you don't use the NDI source, and you link the sound from the call to an audio output, and that usually helps. That's what I've been told, and it seems to work. So something we can play around with later.
Yeah, well, right now you're talking just fine through Mike's source.
Right.
So
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that was my quick fix too, and it does work. But if you bring somebody else in, you're gonna have to do the same thing.
Yep.
Oh,
I know.
All over again.
Yeah. I've figured out that there is a lot of on the fly figuring out that you have to do with this.
Well, I just figured out my issue with OBS. I like using OBS for making videos to talkovers and stuff. I actually use it to video as I'm doing certain things, so that I'm in the bottom and I can talk about stuff. It would record fine, but when I brought it into my editor, my voice was choppy and I couldn't figure it out. And I did everything and I messed with everything, and it was a very simple fix. Your advanced settings underneath your audio input,
Change your bit rate from 160 higher?
No, not even that. It was even simpler. If you hit that little cog, that little gear, you have everything filtered to mono instead of stereo, and that fixed it.
Oh.
It was just a simple click of a button.
Nice.
And I spent hours, and I'm like, let me try this, and lo and behold, I mean, that's you limp through it the best you can.
Yep.
It's either a blessing or a curse that I'm this freaking stubborn.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hey man, what's up, Mew? Thank you for coming in. Yeah, dude. And by the way, Mew, I meant to talk to you. I was going to see about possibly getting some of your music to do kind of a background music for when I'm doing my live stream and stuff. So I might need to email you and do all that good stuff.
Yeah, I want to start using his stuff too. I just want to make sure I do the right thing as far as copyright and credit.
Yeah. Well, he has a copyright release that is sent to you and stuff when you go and download his stuff and everything. But I just like to talk to him in person since I see him often enough.
Well, I mean, now what you got to do is have him on as a guest.
Oh, absolutely. That would be even better.
So we can talk to everybody about how to use it and what to do, because I think Andrew Apusa uses him exclusively now.
Yeah, I think he does. Well, the thing is his music is so great for background music. I could be playing it while the three of us are talking, and it's not going to, sometimes like some music interrupts the speaker. His music does not do that. It's all nice flow, underlying.
Yeah, I did that. It was kind of cool the way it worked out. I've been doing that a lot, but in my last kind of vlog, if you will, I had some music that wasn't his, and I'll start using his, where as I'm talking, it's low and in the background, and it adds a little bit more than just me talking. Yeah. So it's really cool.
Are you talking about what was it, 9 Mile Creek? 8 Mile Creek?
Yeah. 9 Mile Creek, yeah. So it's the same music when I'm doing the time lapse, but when I start talking, it fades down a little bit, so it's not overpowering me. And then when I go back, it just kicks back up, and it adds a little bit. I think
it does.
It's a great idea.
Yep. Yeah. Well, it wouldn't be 8 Mile Creek. You're not Eminem. Marshall Matters.
Yeah. And that's the thing about New York State, Russ. People. Like I was saying earlier, people think New York City. Up where we are, Mark and I, we are surrounded by lakes and rivers and streams, and then we have the Adirondack Mountains just a couple hours away, and you can go right up to Lake Placid if you want to.
Yeah, it's
St.
beautiful.
Lawrence River.
Well,
So much. If you like nature stuff, it's beautiful.
yeah. Well, Lake Placid, there's two very, very large alligator or crocodile things or whatever fed by an old lady that you got to watch out up there for.
What?
Have you guys seen that movie? Have you
No.
seen the movie Lake Placid?
Oh, the movie Lake
Oh,
Placid.
the
Yeah.
No,
movie.
no, I didn't. I've never watched it. Just
You don't
for that
need to.
reason.
Don't need
No,
to.
thank you. Thank you.
I thought you were going to say the 2 ski jumps.
No. It's an older movie. It's what, late '90s, early 2000s, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
But
Yeah, I've heard that.
yeah, some lady. There's these two. We're talking like 60-foot, 70-foot long crocodile or alligators or something that this old lady feeds, and they eat people, and she's just like, they're just my pets. I don't know that they're okay. And then finally they eat the lady because she stops feeding her. So, spoiler alert. Sorry, guys. No.
Oh darn! Now I'm not gonna go watch it on Netflix.
Netflix or probably is like, this is a little cool.
Yeah. Well, so.
But yeah, no, I would
Great-grandma.
love to do that. I would love to be up in that part of the New York area because I mean, New York City is cool to visit for a little while, and but I still am kind of a rural guy, so I get kind of uptight and a little nervous in huge cities and stuff a little bit. So.
Well, New York City will do that to you.
Yeah.
I've actually driven in Manhattan and actually got pulled over for turning the wrong way on the street. And this is not long after 9/11. So the cop walks up to my van and he's got his hand on his gun. Didn't have it unholstered, but they were a little nervous back then. And but driving it's a nightmare.
Oh, it's an
Mm.
experience, no doubt.
I don't think I want to drive there at all. I will.
I don't know if you're familiar with it, Mike. I grew up in the Hudson Valley region, which is about an
Right.
hour and a half north of New York City. We go down there, and every once in a while, I drive down there, and it's white knuckle the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, if you don't do 80 and cut people off, you're not driving properly.
Oh my God, the sawmill. I used to work in Yonkers and the Sawmill River Parkway. You're driving 65 miles an hour. No joke, Russ. You try to give yourself a little bit of space with the car in front of you. If you give yourself enough space for a car length, just one car length at 65 miles an hour, somebody goes in there.
Oh.
And at that rate, you're going to wind up back home if you keep slowing down. That was always my joke. It's crazy.
Got to start putting
Now-
it in reverse eventually.
Yeah. I want to comment on something in here. Ricky Dove says he got a copyright against one of his videos using free copyright music last week. And I'm trying to see. MU says which music provider is it? And I haven't seen a response yet. But yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I have seen that before. That there's that YouTube tool that tells you like, okay, this music is copyrighted, but you can use it, and the person might just monetize that video themselves.
Right.
And then
Right.
there's, this is not copyrighted music. And sometimes I've seen enough people complain about that tool that it wasn't correct that I'm afraid to trust it.
Yeah.
So,
I've been using a company called Ben Sound. The only issue with that is you got to pay for most of it, and there's a limited. Maybe I got 12, 13 songs that you can download for free, and some of them are really good. But I've been looking, and so now I'm going to look into MU, or is it MU? MU, I guess, and see what he's got, and I really want to start working with that.
it's MU, Music Unlimited.
Okay, music makes sense.
Yeah. And I've only used Hook Sounds,
Okay.
and I use Muse. I've used like 2 or 3 of his, I think, on random videos here and there and stuff. But I would really like to use his stuff on this stream. And it's kind of one of those things where I just want to make sure that he's cool with it because I'm going to be doing it probably the same song over and over and over and over again each week or whatever, just as my background music.
What I've done is actually, I'm just a small fry, but I went on iTunes and just bought a couple of albums of, license-free music and, with varying lengths and different types of music, and that's kind of what I use. But
Hmm.
that way I have a library of it at myself that I just own.
Yeah.
Um,
Now, do you have to cite it or?
I don't think so. I'm not obviously not monetized or
Yeah.
anything. I just put it on there, and if YouTube accepts it, then I just let it go. Because
Yeah.
sometimes I've tried to upload things before with copyrighted music, and YouTube will then tell me this is copyrighted. They
Yeah.
won't even let me put it up.
Well, and the best way to get to check for copyright strikes is to upload everything. Everything that you do that has music or that you're worried about or anything, just upload it in private and let
Right.
it sit there for a day. And if it doesn't get anything, because usually there's tools and stuff to these companies. They have algorithms and stuff, and if it doesn't do anything, or I should say, put it in private or unlisted, whichever one you choose. But if nothing comes up, then you can make that public now, and you're usually fine. Not 100%. That's not a 100% thing. So,
Right.
but
Well, well,
yeah,
I just use, I haven't put up content in a while, so, being wintertime up here, but hopefully with spring coming up, I'm going to
yeah.
hit 9 Mile Creek as well,
Oh
Mark.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah, it's
I've got
beautiful.
a bunch of other ideas too.
Yeah, so that's actually one of the things I want. Inspired me to do it is exactly what you said, Mike. Is that and I'm sure you've seen it when anybody asks you in chat where you're from, and you say New York, immediately like, oh, I love New York City. It's like, no. So I want to do more of that. Maybe do some more vlogging, go to different places where I can fly, because you can't fly in the Adirondacks, which is unfortunate. But there is that caveat, though, if anybody's caught on to it, that you can't fly in a national park. And correct me if I'm wrong. It really reads you can't land or take
Take
off
off.
in the natural. So if I can
Correct.
find the border to certain areas in the Adirondacks and fly my Mavic, which has got and I'll try to keep it in line of sight. Yes, yes, yes. And fly it a few kilometers away. I want to do that.
Yeah.
If I got to do a little more research though before I
It
do it, but
it matters on, like I said, like even national parks. It's the same thing. They those parks end at the air. They aren't airspace. Their national parks airspace is still Class G airspace.
yeah.
So it's
So I'm correct in interpreting it that as long as I'm not starting in the park or ending in the park, I should be okay, in
yep.
theory. Well, there you go. But there are other places that I'd like to do, because again, call it a little education for the people who aren't familiar with New York, because yeah, I get it. Everybody knows this is New York City.
Yep.
So
It's,
and that's all the politicians seem to think too. Sorry, I don't mean to get political, but whenever they think New York, all the decisions are made based on what benefits Southern New York, let's say.
Well, I mean, a lot of the same politics are in our area. Not, I mean, North Idaho it's getting a little better now because Southern Idaho, Boise, and stuff is 3/4 of the population of the state, and it only carries a third of the size of the state with the whole Southern Idaho area, and then 2/3 of the state here in Northern Idaho and everything is. What did I do to your window again, Mark?
I don't know. You didn't do anything.
Oh, it.
Now, it's funny though. I am playing around with my stuff, so I don't know if that's affecting my output to do that to you.
I doubt it.
I've opened a couple of windows and stuff, so
Darn it, Mark.
I'll stop. I'll
but
stop.
but yeah, no. So North Idaho kind of has the short end of the stick up here, and then the same thing is with Spokane. Seattle and that whole area on the other side of the state has a lot of the political power, and the Spokane area doesn't have as much. So we're kind of North Idaho and Eastern Washington both on the short end of the stick of things, but it's getting a little better. I mean, our population between Coeur d'Alene and Spokane now is almost 800,000 in the area.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're getting a little bit more clout with both sides, but not a lot.
Yeah, Rick Caliber has some very good advice for me for flying into the park. He says just
So
don't
true.
crash in the park.
Oh, because then you're
I
landing. Now you're
now I'm
toast.
landing, and they got my number, and they can track me, and all that stuff. Yeah. It is a risk, no doubt. They actually busted somebody from Canada for flying, and I want to say it was like a $500 fine.
Oof. Well, so when you get caught, just say my name is Mike Roche, and no.
No, no, you'll see me put up a GoFundMe page.
Yeah, yeah, bail
Bail,
Mark out of jail.
yeah, bail this idiot out.
And don't tell the school district.
I'm not worried.
It's funny though, Mark. I did one at Chittenango Falls, which is a state park,
Yeah.
and but it's never crowded there, and there's never anybody manning the booth at Chittenango Falls. So I just did a little thing there and had no problem whatsoever.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, it's everybody has that argument that there's not enough people to police this, but
Right.
I am a nervous Nelly when it comes to this, and I always feel like I have bad luck. I'll be the one out of 1,000 that will get busted doing it.
That's what I just said to Mike like 30 minutes ago. Nobody is ever going to police it or ever policing this stuff. Really, I mean, they never charged the guy who landed on the White House lawn. But I will be that one guy that they make a statement with.
Yes, they'll make an example of. Yep. And I'll do it, and then it'll be some park ranger on his day off driving by.
Yeah. Yep.
That would be my luck.
Yeah, Wiedemann, by the way, in the chat, Mark is saying, yeah, just use Paul Murray's FAA number from his drone that he was flashing this morning or whatever.
He put his number up on there, so I'll register my drone under his name. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I guess it was his expired one from last year or something.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. In fact, I mean, like with my where is it? I don't know where, but with my Mavic Air, I mean, the registration number that there's nothing that's just the number that they give for my drone. It's like a license plate.
Mm-hmm.
So. I guess you can get information from a license plate, huh?
Oh yeah. No, it's all tied to your name and your address and everything like that. They'll find you. That's the whole point of registering the drone.
Thing is, I mean, if somebody really wants to find me, they'll find me. I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. But, the crazy thing is, though, with our state parks here, it's mostly just nature and all that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Unless you fly over the beach or something, you're not going to hurt anybody. But then, you can go up to Lake Ontario and fly around container ships and in the harbor and all that stuff. And, you're posing more danger doing that than you are flying over trees in an empty lake.
Yeah. And then makes no sense. And then you've got the issue where you can't fly over protected areas, wildlife refuges and stuff like that, because you don't want to disturb them and blah. There was a guy who got busted for that. He flew over, and I guess he came down a little too low, and they tracked him down and gave him a fine for disturbing the wildlife.
Ooh, do you guys see what Gary Foster said there? That's kind of cool. So in Canada, you cannot interfere it's a federal offense to interfere with an aviation crash site. So you can't be stopped from going into the park to retrieve your drone. Now, can they charge you for the drone landing in the park? Maybe, but they can't stop you from grabbing the drone, I guess.
Right. And another thing I found out is, we've had issues with people who get paranoid about drones and they shoot them out of the sky.
Yeah.
Your drone is considered an aircraft, and it is a federal offense to shoot at any aircraft, hitting it or not. So people who think they're doing the right thing by shooting a drone out of the air are actually committing a federal offense, supposedly. And again, anybody in chat, correct me if I'm wrong. That's what I keep hearing.
Yeah.
But and by the way, until after the fact.
Oh yeah, and by the way, Grandma's Greenhouse, you are absolutely right. Harris Scott is one of those guys who never really toots his own horn, but his stuff is incredible.
It's amazing. I still have to catch up on his last video. You got to see his stuff. His dog is gorgeous.
Yeah.
I believe his dog's name is Jaeger and his last name is Scott, and that's how he got the name.
Yeah, because I can't remember. I think at one time, didn't he have his channel had a slightly different name Jagger Scott. Maybe I'm thinking differently or something, but yeah, it's his stuff is incredible stuff.
And to think about the work he puts into capturing the footage, because he has to set the camera up ahead, go back, and then he's got himself walking, or he's got himself walking into the distance, and he's got to go back and get the camera. He's really got a knack for that kind of, and he's doing it solo. It's not like he's got somebody follow, at least that I can tell. He's got somebody with him. And if Jaeger Scott, if you do, don't let me know, because that to me is just that to me is part of the mystique of what you do, man. Because
that's what he's got the dog trained for. It's like go get it. No,
you know what?
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Be an amazing idea,
wouldn't it? Of course, you might have a few teeth marks on the lens every now and then if they grab it the wrong way. But
dogs can do it without putting marks in it, I'm sure.
But so Gary Foster was the one who was talking about it, Mark, and he's in chat. He was the one who was talking about you can't shoot it out of the sky; it's a federal offense. And he was the one who remember the police officer story that he had about the police officer. I had it. He was telling. Was it on Rogers' channel? I think it was on Rogers' channel. But he was talking about how he was flying his drone, and this police officer was giving him some crap and was like, I had to shoot that thing out of the sky. And Gary replied to him, he's like, it's a federal offense to shoot an aircraft out of the sky. I don't think you would want to do that, especially in front of a 4K camera that's watching you do it, would you? Oh, yeah, I guess I shouldn't. But yeah, I love that story of his.
that there is some justice in this world from time to time. Not as often as it should be, but
yeah.
Well, my nephew is a Syracuse cop, and I've asked him, what would you do if you saw somebody flying around, where they shouldn't be, as long as they're not hurting anybody or whatever. And his attitude is like, they've got other things to do.
Especially in Syracuse. Oh, yes. Yeah. Syracuse, they've got a lot of other things to worry about. They got some bad areas in the city. Yeah,
like beating the Duke Blue Devils. Oh, yeah.
Well, that was a rough week for Boeheim, so
yeah. Oh, that was.
You're already talking Greek to me.
No. Yeah. So basketball. It's men's college basketball, Mark.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Syracuse beat Duke.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Didn't they beat? Wow. They were the ones who beat Duke. They were the second loss that Duke had, I think, this year or something like that. But yeah, then Jim Boeheim. That was a really unfortunate situation.
Yeah, that was sad.
I mean, he was driving on the road, and there was somebody who had gotten in a wreck, Mark, and they just like backed up away from their vehicle right onto the road, right in front of Jim Boeheim, and Jim Boeheim struck and killed the guy. And it was like, I mean, Boeheim was following laws. He evidently had slowed down like to 30 miles an hour or something like that, going by the guy, and he had swerved a little bit around, but the guy just literally just backed up right. And sometimes there's just nothing you can do.
That's why they call it an accident. It's not intentional.
Yeah, but yeah, right. And he was torn up about it, and it just.
Oh my God, I don't know. I'd have a hard time. Yeah, I'd have a hard time with that. Anybody in their right mind would.
Yeah.
Right. And that was a pretty bad snowy night, and it was about 11:30, I think, and Syracuse had played Louisville, I think, that night. So Boeheim was on his way home.
Correct.
It would make sense that he would be heading home about that time. And I guess he was really, really broken up. I mean, I know the last thing I ever want to do on the road is hurt anybody. I'll give up my license before I did that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Agreed.
But anyway, at least on a lighter note, our football team got better, though, in this town.
Yeah.
A little respectability anyway in the bowl game.
Yeah, which is the first bowl game you guys had in a long time.
Drone Shot says, I loved it when cop came over and asked me to fly right down through the town over a car show. There were 1,000 people. I had to school him about flying over cars and people for that matter.
And that's the usual interaction you have with a police officer and stuff. The video that I use for my intro to this show, usually, I mean, I did a little bit different one today just to change things up, but that Centennial Trail one that I do, when I was having it follow me on my bike, there's on the way there, I didn't use that video because I had they had a patrol cop on the actual like bike path, and he was just patrolling, making sure, because they've had people do, stupid stuff and break things and stuff along the trail, and kids drinking and all that stuff. So they'll patrol and he patrolled, and he stopped me. He didn't turn his lights on and stop me, but he was just like, oh, stop, 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 stop. And then he stopped me. He's like, are you controlling that thing while it's following you? I was like, no, it's just it's got it locked on me and it'll follow me. And he's like, really? Most of the time they're stopping you because they're just interested and they want to see what's going on. And he was all thought it was so cool. He's like, so you can make that thing follow me? I was like, yeah, if you give me permission. I don't want to hound you as being a police officer on duty, but.
Well, the first time I went to try to do that 9 Mile Creek video, it was late and the footage wasn't the greatest. And but as I'm trying to set up and do it, I was just launching the drone, and the snow was deep enough where I didn't feel comfortable pulling into the usual gravel parking area. Even though I got 4-wheel drive, I didn't want to take any chances, so I parked as close into the snow and away from the road as possible. And I suspected it would happen, but I'm just about taking off, and all of a sudden, cop car pulls up behind my truck with the lights on, and I'm like, I don't think I'm parked illegally, and I'm like, uh-oh. And so I landed the drone, and the officer came out, and she says, can I ask what you're doing? I said, no, I'm just getting some aerial footage of the creek. And she goes, well, is there an issue with your car? Is everything okay? And I said, no, I'm just parked. I said, is it parked? Am I parked okay? She goes, no, you're parked fine. I just want to make sure you weren't broken down or anything. She actually was just stopping to check me out. I'm like, that was a cool interaction.
It was.
She didn't care anything about the drone at all. In fact, she's like, oh. And then she was like,
she was gone. Yeah.
So I think sometimes we do. I mean, I am a kind of a paranoid person with regards to this. That's why I try to, dot my I's and cross my T's.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes, even myself included, we get a little carried away with the laws, and as long as you're doing it responsibly. But we're gonna have that chucklehead that's gonna do something stupid, and then.
Well, that's what creates the laws.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. Is more of that.
What I liked is that 20-point turn you did when you were leaving.
Oh my God, there's such a tight spot, and I pulled straight in, and I'm doing that, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have to time lapse this sucker out.
Yeah, I was sitting there. I was like, man, this needs like some of that clown music in the background.
Was it the road or was it the snowbanks on the side of the road?
Yes.
Took up all the room.
Yes, and yes. The parking area, usually they don't plow it at this time of the year because they figure nobody's going out there fly fishing. So I did go in pretty far because the snow wasn't too bad, but it's a 1 lane going in. So, and the banks were high enough where I didn't want to back out because there's that little tunnel that it's a trestle, and it's the stone trestle. So people coming through there will not see me backing up, and I will not see them. So I was determined to go out front ways because that's not a good area to be backing out into.
Right.
So.
Hey, I'll be right back, guys.
Yeah, actually, you know what, Mike? I'm actually going to shut it down here because I'm going to go play some basketball and stuff. Right. But thank you for coming in, Mike, and thanks for coming in as well, Mark. It looks like I didn't break the internet, so
yeah. Thanks for pulling me in.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm so glad. Well, I saw you in the chat, so I was like, I'm going to give him a call, and I didn't. You answered so quickly, and I was like, uh-oh.
No, I didn't answer. It answered for me.
There's go into your settings, and there's a thing where it says answer automatically when Paul comes in or something. Just uncheck that so we don't catch you in some situation or something.
Yeah.
So now, Mark, we're seeing your bedroom without the studio set up.
Yeah. This is what my room looks like. These are the sins that I hide with that green screen.
All right. Well, hey, everybody in chat, thank you so much for coming in, hanging out with me for an hour or so. And again, thanks to you guys for coming in.
Yeah. No, my pleasure, man.
And everybody, good to see you guys. Everybody, please do not forget to like this video. If you can, I would really appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a good day. We'll talk to you later.